naive about being a leader. We're not going to solve big problems in this city with small ideas. We need bold ideas, and we're going to...
They were talking for their political lives, and at times they did it all together. This is Stephen Farrell for the New York Times, reporting on the last televised debate for the 5 leading Democratic candidates before the mayoral primary election on September the 10th.
We need a leader. We don't need a cheerleader. Tell the people the truth about your tax proposal. Tell them about the term limit issue. Tell them about member...
The City Council Speaker Christine Quinn and former City Comptroller Bill Thompson are both vying for a second place that would see them through to a runoff. As expected, they tried to claw voters away from the polling front-runner, public advocate Bill de Blasio.
And it's Bill talking out of both sides of his mouth, making a list that's supposed to help tenants, but really it ended up becoming a campaign fundraising list for the public advocate.
But some way behind in the opinion polls, Anthony Weiner seemed to have calculated that while he has no chance of overtaking Mr. de Blasio, Ms. Quinn might be a manageable target.
But, no one's fought harder to stand up to slumlords than Bill has. I mean, that's not the good issue to hit him on. I mean, he's been good on that stuff. All the major real estate interests stood up, who wanted a third term for Mayor Bloomberg, and you gave it to him. That's the real crime. It's not...
At times, Mr. de Blasio tried to stand above it all.
I want to talk about this whole notion of what can and can't be done. This is a city that has always believed in big, bold ideas, big, bold changes.
At other times, he got down in the fray and went after Ms. Quinn.
But for 3 years, at the urging of the business community, you would not allow a vote on the paid sick days bill.
But overall, Mr. de Blasio spent much more time on the defensive.
Mr. de Blasio, you did support a legislative repeal of term limits back in 2005.
I laid out a very specific plan with extensive hearings and all that. Nothing like that happened.
The debate lacked killer blows and no one self-destructed. Mr. de Blasio remains the one to beat.
This is a question for everybody. Ms. Quinn, you have been described by some as having a short temper, while Mr. de Blasio, you have been called indecisive.
But one revealing passage came when each candidate was asked to address his or her supposed weakness.
I don't think it's a question about temperament. It's a question about being tough.
So when it comes to standing up and fighting for those in the New York City Housing Authority, because they've been treated not as second class, but third and fourth class citizens, I have passion. I'll take on the fight.
Look, I got to tell you something. There's no doubt about it. I'm an imperfect messenger for a lot of the things that I want to do. You know things about me.
But I work for the people. So I have been proud to be clear and decisive and consistent in fighting for the people's needs.
They may have convinced themselves. September the 10th will be the first test of whether they convinced voters.
Thank you, candidates. That concludes the Democratic mayoral primary debate.